Right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. We are on Virtual Pool 4, the two players in the lobby, and this is the Virtual Pool 4 World Straight Ball. There's my first fluff. World Straight Pool Final, and it's a race to 200, and it's a rematch of the last big tourney final, which was the 8-ball bar table World Championship, which Semi-Pro won out in the end. So we've got a wee bit of a revenge match going on here between the two, and the room is up. Both players are in. They're probably lagged off, and they're probably doing that now, which is why I'm not joining the room. Right, Semi-Pro is going to break, so Frankel won the lag, which is the important thing to win. I'm going to do a quick check. And just check my lines are working. The chat should be working as well. I tested that earlier on. So, well, I don't think you could pick a winner here. It can go anyway. We're going to get a bit of toing and froing early on. So Semi-Pro has been the most consistent in the tournament, scoring wise. Yeah, good evening. Welcome to the stream, guys. As I said, Semi's been the most consistent. He scored probably on average more points per visit during the tournament in most of his matches that I've seen. However, the biggest contribution in one visit is still from Frankel, a run of 71, and there's still a chance that that could be beaten. But it's Frankel with the first chance, and we've got a fair number of balls to be picked off already. Now again, for anybody who hasn't watched any of these streams in this tournament, I try not to swivel the camera too much because it does annoy some people, but in straight pool you have to study the pack. You have to look at combos or look for combos, and you also have to look and see where the balls are sitting in relation to the outline of the triangle in the table. So I will be swiveling from time to time. So we've got no problem balls in the bottom half of the table. We've only got the 8 and the 2 in the middle, which means that the cue ball doesn't have to be travelling too far. And once again, Frankel taking the risk of moving balls. And now, yeah, he's blocked himself off and he's right against a 3. So he's got a bailout, and that could have went seriously wrong. Well, that's the thing about the straight pool. I mean, a lot of matches I've watched. I mean, and I am no straight pool expert by no means, because I very rarely play it. But sometimes some players' choice of shots bewilder me in their pattern to try and clear the table. But usually, I mean, my philosophy is deal with problem balls. That's what you have to do. Deal with blocking balls and deal with balls down the table from the end that we're looking at, because that's only troublesome stuff. The longer you leave those balls, the less opportunities you have to get to them. So you have to deal with them as soon as And of course the other problem Frankel has with this visit is where the break ball's going to be, because those 3 balls are in the triangle, so they serve no purpose unless he nudges one, and I don't think he's got an angle in the 11 to do that. No, he's the wrong side. He might be able to nudge something here off this 9. And of course the 2 and 8 are still sitting there, so he's leaving them to the last minute. And it might be that he has to fall on one of them as a break ball. Well, now he's got no break ball as such. So it's a possibility he might try and leave one of those into the middle pocket with an angle to smash into the pack. I like the look of that 8-2 bank shot. It's not quite on, but it could be made. Yep. Oh, he's a bit far off the rail. He's going to have to take one of those 2. If he had been closer to the rail, this 14 ball would have been a lot more comfortable to play, so he's going to have to bail out on one of these, whether it be the 2 or the 8. But that's again, I still think that, well, looking at the 14 now, it looks as if he's going to have to choose one of them. No other option. And now, if he takes the 8 ball and avoids skimming the 2, he should leave that cue ball bottom side of the table towards us. Well, he's actually brushed that. Well, that's unfortunate. He's got no angle there. He's going to have to be a lot of inside right English and try and get into that pack, but again, he isn't risking it. He's just going to keep it tight and hide. That's another one of my philosophies. Take what you can get, and then, you know, don't go over ambitious. Just run and hide. And semi-pro's got nothing. But more importantly, Frankel's got the first start, 15 on the board. And that's a bit loose. Just a wee bit loose. It gives Frankel a good sight in the 14. I mean, it's a tough cut, but again, it should be a relatively straightforward safety to send the 14 down the table and tuck the cue ball in behind the pack. And this is a judgment of pace needed. And he's got that. So now there's no safety from distance because the 14 ball takes that out of the equation. So it's about trying to hide that cue ball up at the top end behind the pack. Now that might be a mistake, and it certainly is. That was a poor one, far too heavy, and the 3 ball has been exposed. One, 2, 3, 4, if you count the one at the bottom here, 5. See, Frankel again, he's taking a risk there. Big risk to take, because you're always just relying on luck. You're not playing a specific shot. You're relying on luck to get in a ball. And when you look at that, if that 10 ball wasn't there, that 8 ball wasn't going to give you much, because there's not another shot on. There's no other shot on there, so he got really lucky. And that, at the end of the day, well, was it all worth it? Because he's now opened up a bunch of balls, failed on what wasn't a particularly difficult 10 ball, and taken his eye right off the ball, and he's given Semi-Pro a free start. But then again, he's made a complete bollocks of that. Oh dear. Well, has he got lucky here? I think he pretty much has. Got a fairly straightforward combo. And how lucky is that? That's what you need in straight pool. complete hash there, and he really landed right on the button to have that that combo sitting there waiting for him to bail him out. So Frankel's reasonable enough start fell apart on the one shot, and it's the same old story. You're sitting looking at this table and you're saying these balls should all have been mine, but it just depends how deep into this remaining amount of balls that semi-pro can get as to how severe the punishment's going to be. So we've got 4 balls in the bottom half of the table here towards us, and all of them can be dealt with now. Get the 14 over onto the rail, get rid of the 13, tuck the 9 down the rail, tuck the 7 back into this bottom corner. I mean, that gets rid of those problem balls. I'll have a quick drink. And he's got a slight angle in the 9 which he could just brush into the corner and leave that 7 on and get rid of it as well. And the next one presumably would be the 11. And he also has a chat, and I don't know whether he actually needs to move any of those. He doesn't specifically need to move the one, but and he's ended up a wee bit straight in the 11 here. It depends how aggressive he wants to be, but he's a wee bit straight to be trying to force something here. So he did the right thing. But now, if he can take that one, he's in fairly good shape, because the 15 ball is sitting near the corner of the triangle and is an ideal break ball. And I think he's got the slight angle on the 12 as well. Well, he's looking at the 15, but if he pots the 12, he can stun over for the 6. But he's not keen on it. Now, how's that 6? Well, that 6 is just as good. It's at the top of the pyramid. But can he land on it? I think he's gone too straight. No, he's got a slight angle. He needs to be careful he doesn't put loads of top in this and run through in after the 6. Well, he's on nothing but a very difficult thin cut in the 13. Cue ball running around the table. If he doesn't hit it too hard, he should have a break shot on this 8 ball to break some more balls free if he plays this right. Oh, unlucky. Couldn't really do much, but he's left the break shot here for Frankel. So shaky starts at the end by both players. A run of 12 by semi-pro, the scratch, the unforced error, and Frankel back at the table. And I think he's not landed in much either. He's got nothing. He's got a tricky 13 that will go, and he might have to resort to it. He's looking for other options, but I mean, there's a 7 into the middle. That's a wee bit tight. And he just squeezed it in. So we know the 13 goes from the left side. He could just drop on the rail and take the 2 as well here if he wants. So we've got a bailout ball at the bottom of the table here, the 10 ball. We'll see how long Frankel goes. Can't see the score in full screen. What, on the stream? You can't see the top of the HUD on the stream. I don't know what the hell setup you've got. Now, what the hell's this guy doing calling the score out in the room? The score is obscured by the game description. Well, move your mouse off the bottom of the screen, Potman. You've got your mouse at the bottom of the screen, and that's why the menu's staying up on the screen. Move your mouse out the way. Move your mouse to the middle of the screen, and then leave it alone, and it will disappear. The title of the stream will disappear. Now tell me that fixed it. If you're watching a stream on YouTube, I think, and Twitch, if you leave your mouse fiddling about at the bottom of the screen, that brings up the menu of the on-screen titles and stuff. As soon as you leave your mouse alone and you move your mouse away from the bottom of the screen, these menus disappear, so they shouldn't obscure the screen. Now, still waiting on an answer, Potman? Or are you actually just bouncing your head off the wall, realising what a numpty thing I've been doing and haven't worked that out yet? We'll find out. We'll find out once he gets to typing. Anyway, more important matters. Frankel, his visit has gone to 11. He's got a break ball. And let's see, well, he's going to have to just tweak this a wee bit, this cue ball, just to help it across. No, it doesn't work. I don't know. I can't help you, Potman. I don't know what the hell kind of setup you've got going there, mate. But that's the usual simple solution. Try refreshing the stream. Just use the refresh in your browser. What one? Well, put it this way, Potman. Scrub Twitch and go to YouTube. Is there anybody else watching in Twitch if they've got the same problem as Potman? So Frankel's visit has ended in 14. I'll post well, mind you, the link is posted in the lobby anyway for YouTube or Twitch. So if but you're was it Potman that was saying that the stream was better on Twitch than it was on YouTube? Can't remember. Anyway, I'm losing my concentration here. Well, the score at the moment is Frankel 30, semi-pro on 12. Let's have a look up this end of the table, see what's going on. Well, there's another loose one there, this time from Frankel. And really loose, far too thick with that connection in the 11 ball. Well, there's Yama saying he can fix it by moving the mouse to the bottom. I know that Twitch might be slightly different from YouTube, but I've done it on plenty of occasions when I'm watching a stream and my mouse is sitting at the bottom of the screen, and that just brings up the tabs and stuff. Yeah, move your mouse as far away from the stream as you can. That usually fixes it. I know it does on YouTube. So these errors are costing these players points, because he's trying to build up a lead and he's not been able to get away. And that 10 ball at the back of the cluster of 4 in the middle of the table, it definitely goes. But potting it doesn't free up any other balls unless you've got a slight angle to just nudge them. Let's see. Yeah, 10 ball goes, so a nice little angle on that 10 would help. And there's an opportunity to do that now for semi-pro, although he's got the 2 balls at the back of the bunch, or the back of the pack. Now, what's Mark wanting? Well, that's what I meant to say. I was away at the post office this morning, Mark, when you sent me a PM, so that's why I didn't answer you. I had joined VP4 and then had to go to the post office. And then I come back in, so... No, he's not talking about his... Well, mind you, that's a point. No, I think he's talking about he's talking about the stream overlaying the title of the live stream on the screen that's covering up the game HUD so he can't see the game score. I think that's his problem. I don't think it's anything to do with the size of his HUD, although he could change that, but that's a bit pointless. It's definitely just to do with where he's got his mouse sitting, or whether he needs to refresh the stream or something. Hang on a minute here. I'm losing track here and not concentrating on what's actually happening. Semi-pro still at the table. Now I'm looking to see this 13 ball. Where is it? That'll do good. Good evening, Simon. The 2 ball's going to go. So he wants to finish roughly where the donut is. Roughly about there. He doesn't need a great angle, just need enough to pinch it. Look at that. Almost, in fact, if I'd moved my donut that way, it was in it. Commentator's eye again. Right, Mark, I'm going to shut this down so I can focus. And the cue ball, loads of top spin to try and help it through a bunch of balls, but I think he's only got one shot here. He's got a very thin cut in the 6, but it's got to surely be the 10 ball. Well, I don't like the look of this. 10 ball, you're guaranteed to be on the 8 or the 7. Yeah, that was asking too much. Asking far too much. I would have took the 10, because you don't have to do anything with the cue ball. You just have to totally focus and pot in the 10, and you've got your bailout balls here. But that was a high risk manoeuvre by semi-pro, and semi-pro's visit again. I think the furthest we're getting here is 14 and 15 from these guys so far. But semi-pro just 4 points behind. And Frankel wants to play the combo along the rail. In goes the 6. Couple of balls over the corner pockets, but The important thing now is we've got nothing in the bottom half of the table here, so this cue ball should be staying up that top end, although he's got a right mixture of balls lying here. I mean, there's nothing ideal about the way these balls are unless he gives him a wee bit of helping hand, but he's just locked up two more with that shot. And he can, I think he can nudge the 9 here when he plays the 7, and he's bound to be on that ball over the middle pocket. What one's that? The 10. See, that's an emergency backup that he's going to take out right now. So he's got limited choices here. He's got 2 shots here, either the 4 or the 15. He's got nothing else. A push he could try and squeeze in that 11, but I don't know whether he can get to the potting angle because of the 12. So some choices to make here. And if he's going to start running into balls, this isn't an ideal situation. Well, it'll be the 12 into the left middle. Now, can he see any of those two? Well, the 9 goes. And if he goes far enough, he can just a little brush onto the 2. He could play the 7 and break those 2, but he's got a choice here as well, so whatever he prefers. Well, the 2 will go. He can see enough of it to pot it, and he's on the 1 in the middle, or the 8. Now, he can take the 3, but the other thing is he could take the 8, and he doesn't really need to nudge the 5, but he's still got choices, but he's still to look for a way to try and deal with this pair here. And who the hell's that's gone? Semi-pro. Now, let me just have a check. We've got six people in the room. Well, that would be 7, including semi-pro. So 4 are spectators. Sorry, stupid crashed. Is that his nickname for the computer? Anyway, that was a quick disconnect and reconnect by semi-pro. Frankel has still got a problem to deal with. And the same old story, he's running out of balls to deal with it. He's maybe going to have to leave the bank. I mean, that 13 ball is a pretty good bank if you can get good on it. Up and down the table into this bottom right hand corner. Now, if he pots the 13, not the 13, in fact, he's not even got a pot on. I didn't realise it was as bloody bad as that. That's awful. Is he calling the bank here? That doesn't look set. He's going to have to make the bank. He's going to have to cut that ball that way to make the 11 go here. He's trying to play safe. Well, that ended up ugly. Ah, the theatre mode, that's the kind of funny oblong square thing. See, that's a typical numpty viewing error. So I spent 25 minutes trying to work that out. So it's all away now and it's all solved good. So Frankel couldn't keep it safe. And I'm going to tell Potman the score anyway. It's 40 points to Frankel, 27 to semi-pro. Semi-pro at the table. And let's have a quick look at this here. 10 ball is very adjacent to the corner of the pack. Well, it's almost halfway up looking at it that way. So that means the cue ball's going into the centre of the pack there, or the centre of the line of balls. It never guarantees an ideal break, but he's given it the best opportunity with that shot. Let's see how his luck goes. Well, that 13 ball needs to get out of the way. He's still got the 15, but that 4 ball would have been ideal to deal with these balls up here. He's got 1 in the bottom half of the table. Could deal with that even right now and still take the 4 and come across. Another risky shot to be taken, but he's played the 3-9 combo. And it brings Semi-Pro back to within 7 points. See, I know how when I play straight pool, when I've got a table like this, it's always in the back of my mind that 1 ball's there, and you keep potting balls and you eventually run out of balls, and you're also thinking about where your break ball is. So I think if you can take one annoying thing out of the equation, it leaves you one less thing to be thinking about. And a lot of players just keep leaving these problem balls sitting and doing nothing about them, and then they run out of ideas and options come the end of the rack. Now all the balls are sitting perfect for picking off. Nothing needs to be moved. Get the 1, you can take the 4 and get rid of the 2. That's the only one that's a slight issue, is I think it's well, it's not even blocking the 14 anyway, but let's have a look. We've got the 2 ball isn't a break ball because it's in the triangle, but the 14 is. So he can get rid of the 2. And he's gone too far. He's going to have to take the 13 instead. He wanted to be a bit higher up in that 2 to avoid running into the 14. So it'll be the 13, possibly the 2, or maybe even up for the 10. And now he's got the other side of the 2, so he can run off the end rail. He needs to make sure he gets high enough though, unless he's going to leave it low. Well, he's taking the 8. Well, that's... I think he's okay. You can see the 2. Yeah. Well, he's moved the 10 to the other side, so that'll do as an alternate break shot. He needs to avoid hitting it though if he's potting the 14 into the middle. I was thinking he'd be taking the cut back in the 10 and then leaving the 14, but even then the cue ball's running away too far. So this isn't perfect. He's going to have to play a good shot to leave him something on this, unless he's going to try and land in a triangle. Well, I think he tried to draw off the middle diamond in the end rail and come up the table, but the visit ends in 16. A very slender lead for Semi-Pro, just the 2 points, and the only thing that's left for Frankel's the best of the break balls possibly. Now I think he's going to go a bit straight. He's going a bit straight, so he's going to have to beef this up a bit. And a glance off the back of the pack, and he's got 1 ball. Cue ball's running over here now. He really needs to get the cue ball moving a wee bit here to get a decent shot in the one. So he's tried to come across. Yeah, that was always a difficult shot because you're having to move that cue ball a bit more than just rolling the 10 in. Now, what's happened here? Well, can he squeeze past that 15? That's tight. Yeah. Again, I mean, if he was playing that to punch the 10 round the table and play a safe, or was he playing an out-and-out pot, that's difficult to judge, because all sorts could have happened there. But he's played a pretty good safe, unless there's a combo laid up here anywhere. Well, if you try and play that combo, the 5's going into the 13. It's a high risk shot that you're going to nudge that 6 properly. The 5's running into the 13, I think, before it hits the 6. Let's see what he's calling. He's calling the 6. So let's have a look. If you look at the 5, the worrying thing for me is the 5 hitting the 13 first. Yeah, that was a problem. That's why he missed the 6. This is why you've got to study those balls closely to see what's in the way, and it wasn't on. Again, natural instinct told me that wasn't a good combo, and I would have played it out of desperation, but I wouldn't. I'd be looking to just nudge it out of shape and play a safe, so I wouldn't leave that invite for my opponent. But it's right enough, it's a shaky start from both players, and this is another thing when you're studying the pack of balls in VP4. You need to get yourself, you need to look at the possible combo, but get yourself above the balls to see if any edge of that's getting in the way of what you think looks to be a good combo. So if you look at that pack from this end and that angle, you think, oh, that looks a good combo, that 6 ball, but it's not until you get up close and look into it and you can see that the 5 ball edge was going to brush the 13 before it got to the 6, and that was always the thing that could send it offline. And in the end, that's exactly what happened. So, semi-pro back at the table, and he's back in the lead. And he should certainly have a double figure lead by the end of this visit. Although we've got 3 problem balls, all virtually in the rails in the bottom half of the table, and they're all going to have to go. And he's got a perfect opportunity now. Get rid of the 10, get rid of the 12 down here in the bottom rail, and tuck the cue ball over to the side for the 9. Get rid of it. That's the way I'd be doing it. I mean, it sounds so obvious, but I wouldn't even be. I'd be paying no attention to those balls at the top of the table. I'd just be doing this 12, that 9, and then I'm on to my next ball. A little roll through for the 3 into the right middle or something like that. And even if he's dead, in fact, that's perfect. He's got the slight angle on the inside. You get the cue ball closer to the rail than the 9. So he can get the cue ball away from the rail and just run through into that gap between the 6 and the 3 if he wants, or brush onto the 6. And I think the angle he's got in the 3, he might be able to roll through off the side rail and back out into the middle for a choice of 3 balls. No, he's stunning it for the 6. So it looks like the 4 ball is the break ball. 8 balls dead in the middle of the pack, and well, let's see if this can develop into anything substantial, because that's, I think, what we're all waiting on. We're waiting on somebody just getting their act together and stringing something together, because I think that's what's going to take to to fire both of these players up. That's gone again a bit short. Perfect angle to move balls, no problem with that, but it's just a wee bit more than ideal. But straight into the pocket. And how is this going to do? I mean, I thought he's going to be smothered by balls there. Well, he's got the 9. Cue ball. Looking at that angle, the cue ball's going to brush onto the 14. And oh, that's why he's missed it. That's why he's missed a 9. I think if he'd hit that dead on, he would have run into the 14. And of course, you take a risk in actually still been on the 14. But the visit ends in 13. And Frankel, well, he's only 14 behind. Now, what's he doing here? Changed his mind and going for the 12. See, this is already a strange shot to me. Why not deal with the 14 and the 9? He's not going to lock up against the 6, is he? No, he's okay. See, now he's going to run. He's going to run himself into trouble. Well, the 9 ball is a last resort break ball. You've got plenty of balls up the top of the table. Could still be a potential break ball. But you don't want to leave that 9 ball as your break ball, because again, you've no guarantee you're going to get good on it to actually make it a break ball. If you end up dead straight on it, it's absolutely no use to you. There's much better chance getting opportunities down at the business end of the table for break balls. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 balls there in a cluster that are all potential break balls if you get them nudging. So he needs to deal with these 2 now and get rid of them, and that's it. Back to the business end of the table. See, his problem now is he's had a couple of goes at trying to improve those balls in the top right. So the best ball to do that is going to be the 7. You want to get somewhere there on the 7 so you can smack the 7 in and break these balls up here. And that's what you should be thinking about. Now, what's he got in the 14? Well, he's got enough angle there to get that cue ball over to the left middle pocket. Somewhere up that end. And that if it was played for the 7 is not really great. He's looking at don't tell me he's looking at a combo. You're not looking at another combo. This actually looks better, because it's missing the 5. It's missing the 5, and well, it all depends on the gap between the 15 and the 11 as to whether it's going to hit it sweet. If it hits it gentle, you would think it's got a good chance of going in. If it hits it hard, it'll hang up in the jaws and rattle. Well, he hit it at a reasonable pace, and he's played it well, and he's got, well, the 1 ball near the bottom half of the table, just on the middle, the 8 ball, and now it's another combo. So he's having to work. So Frankel moves on to 50, 6 points behind. Now, does he want to make his mind up here and decide what's what? Because those 2 balls are in the triangle, they're no use to him, so he gets rid of them. Does he decide that he's going to try and use the 7 as a break ball, or the 15? Or is it a really brave man that will decide the 8 ball is going to be his break ball and get in the bottom half of this table here, because that's not the ideal way to try and play for a break shot. Try and get the cue ball here, smack into the 8 and smack into the pack. That's another last resort shot for doing that. So he has to be clear in what he's doing, because the more and more he leaves the 8 ball sitting there, the more likely it is it's going to have to be that ball. But I don't think he's got that in mind. Surely not. No. Get rid of the 8 ball now, and then, well, he keeps turning and looking at these balls, but they've no changed position since the last time he looked at them. But he's now going to take the 15. So now it's definitely going to be the 7, and he's looking to get sort of what, here into the pack. Or can he thin it that way? I think he's okay that way as well, but he's gonna have to help it a bit, I think. He's gonna have to maybe, well, he's putting inside on it, and the danger is getting into that back of the pack. You're always a danger of skimming along it into a corner pocket. But how's his luck? And it's not very good. He's got nothing doing here, nothing doing there. He's got a thin cut and a 4 into the middle. Let's have a look. I think he can pot that 4 into the top corner. Why? He needs to get himself right down here. I mean, I'm blind, but you can pot that 4 into that corner pocket. Look at the gap, guys. The gap is there. You can get a bus through there to the 4 ball straight. Well, you guys could see what I could see. Now you can tell me I'm blind, but I don't know whether Frankel looked at that and didn't like it. I mean, he played the tougher of the 2 shots, so fair play to him that way. But I don't know whether he looked to see if it was on. Yeah, the 4 ball was going into the corner every day of the week, rather than a cross table cut. Right, so let's see what we have here. The 10 ball is very tight, but it goes as long as he hits it exactly where he is now. But it's very tight. Now this is, I think even before I'm that busy talking, and I'm not actually looking at what's happening here. The important thing here is Frankel's in a run of 20, and he's got himself into the lead, and provided he doesn't do something stupid, he's going to add to that lead, and he's at least got 2 break ball choices there at the moment. Not perfect, but they're there. And obviously one of them's going to have to go. One's blocking the other, looking at is that the 3 ball or the 5 ball? That's the 5 ball, I think. Well, that's helped the situation. And that's immediately got rid of the blocking ball. What the hell ball is that? It's a 3. Well, he's looking at that, at taking that out. So, of course, the other awkward thing was if he was going to take the 9 as a second choice there down the bottom end here, he was queuing over the 3, so he's going to have to take another route. And it could possibly be that one, but the ideal shot is probably about there, or maybe even a wee bit more like that to get into the pack. And if you can't get it that way, get it that way from this side, and you come off the rail into the pack. So that's the possible choices there on that ball. Or they're the most common ways of actually using that as a break ball, other than something really unorthodox. So it's going to be the 9 and the 2. I mean, again, we talked about this earlier, that 8 ball that was near the middle pocket is a possible break ball. The 2 ball is still a possible break ball as well. As, you know, if you get there, you can get plenty of room to go off there and into a pack. But it's not the ideal choice. So now the important shot, and he's in a bit of a thinking mode here as to where he's going to leave this cue ball. Is he going to finish on the short side of it up the top end? He's going to have to get an angle. Or is he going to try and come back down to somewhere that I suggested? And he's trying to get there. Well, that either needs to go or slow up, one of the two, and it's gone dead straight. And that's the only problem with that shot. You know, anywhere there or anywhere there was fine, but in this zone here is a no-no because it's too straight. So once again, take your medicine and run and hide. The run ends on 28, but Frankel has the lead, a lead of 14 points. Now this has got to be played at a nice pace. That 6 is running up to the middle pocket. As long as he slows up, he's okay. Just, you know, another 2 inches, and I've been able to see enough of that 6. And there's a possible shot on here. 4 into the right middle. There's nothing else on here. And there's no combos on here. They're blocked off by balls. Well, that's weak. That's a weak one from semi-pro, because if that was a pot, he was way off the mark. Yeah, he's blaming the mouse. But it's a thin cut for Frankel. Now, is he going to be really aggressive, or is he just going to pick what's there? Because he could smack this 6 in off that end rail, side rail, and into the pack. Well, he definitely needs to go to Specsavers, because he's cocked that right up. Now, semi-pro blamed the mouse. Frankel's going to blame the eyes. Yeah. Now that could have been a good chance there, even though there was only a couple of balls out, but he had the chance in that 6 if he wanted us to be really aggressive. I think he tried to be, but it all went pear-shaped. So neither player can build up any sort of substantial lead here. They're chasing one another down, and the easy way they're doing it is by just waiting long enough for their opponent's going to cock it up somewhere along the line. Now this time, semi-pro has got into the pack, but I don't think he's got much here. Has he got the 8? Yeah, he's got the 8. Well, anywhere up here, he's got a choice of shots, so can get rid of that. 14. But the cluster in the middle there, he had the opportunity and he took the chance, and it's worked out fairly well. We've got a 1 ball as the elected break ball, we will say, but we've got those 2 balls in the end rail at the top end, the 10 and the 7, and well, it looks as if it's going to have to be the 10 first to make it easier to get to the 7, but you can do that now. You can pot the 3, you can pot the he might even play a combo if he's really ambitious. He's played a couple of risky combos and they've both worked so far. Well, he certainly can nudge something, maybe catch the edge of that 10 if he goes forward. He's trying to kick in behind the 10 by the looks of it. Yeah, that's a clever little shot. A little kick in behind the 10, and the little punch in the 10 just holds the cue ball for the 7. But I think he's a bit straight. Yeah, he's gone. No, there's a slight angle there. Can squeeze that in, and a wee bit of help inside if he needs it. Nope, 2 into the middle. And he's picking these off fairly well. 1 ball still looks the possible break ball. Where's that 10 ball sitting? It's right in the triangle at the end. In fact, it's not in the triangle, but it's not anywhere near great for a break ball. Still 2 points behind. Oh, he's left that way short. And this is a very thin cut. Again, he's picked it out perfect, and the balls are broken all over the shot. Well, look at this. This is Christmas come early, and this might develop into something a bit more significant in the match, because that break ball has taken Semi-Pro into the lead. And now it's getting serious. Nice little angle left on the 12. 12 and 15 to go. And then everything at his mercy on the table at the top end. Quick look at this situation here. Forget the 2 ball, but the 10 ball is right in the corner of the pack, and that is pretty good for a break ball. There's a possible break ball there at the head of the pack. It's a wee bit awkward just on the point, and there's also the 6 ball. So this is giving Semi-Pro 2 or 3 choices here. Well, he's out of line slightly. The cut back on the 15, or is that the 11? I think it's the 11. That's going to run into the 10, I think. He's possibly trying to avoid it with a draw, but he's nudged the 10. Now, has he done any damage? More to the point. Well, it's. I think he's knocked it out of the equation. It's right on the corner. So, and he's also, from where he's finished, look at this. This is really ugly. And he's feeling forced into taking this 6 cut into the middle. Yeah. Well, you know, if you just roll against, if you roll against the 6, the 14, you're leaving Frankel with as much of a problem, but you're not taking the risk. See, that shot there was far too risky. I would have just rolled on to the 14. Frankel would have had the same shot, if not worse, and then it would have been up to him to take the risk. But Semi-Pro is feeling that he's, you know, he's just having to go for something a wee bit too much. Well, he's saying he's shit, but just a shit choice of what to play there. I wouldn't have played that. Not when I've just went to the bother of building up a wee lead. I would have just brushed onto that 14 and left the choice to Frankel as to what to do. So now we know the 10 ball's not ideal. The 3 ball is going to go now. So the last break ball is possibly the 2. Same again. This is where you want to finish on the 2, or somewhere like that would be ideal in the 2 to get into the pack. Now, I think the angle in this 6 is pretty good to get to the rail, but he doesn't want to be too far away from the 2. I don't think that's perfect. I think he's going to have to stun that hard to actually get into the pack. Yep, and lo and behold, Frankel's old nemesis has come back to haunt him again. He's missed the break shot, and well, we've seen him do that 5 major occasions I can count, and he's done it again, and he's done it at the worst possible time, because he's still trailing. He didn't get rid of that deficit, and now it's a little invitation for Semi-Pro just to tuck a few more away. I don't know about you guys, whether you would have risked taking that 6 ball cut into that middle pocket when there was a perfectly reasonable safety to play. You know, it was a difficult enough cut from where Semi-Pro tried to play it. Even though the cue ball was away from the 14, he was right down over the 14 ball, and he could have just rolled onto the 14 and made it even worse for Frankel. That would have been the percentage shot to take. And in the end, it doesn't matter because nothing's come of anything. Frankel's tucked in the pack. This time Semi-Pro took the chance to get a reasonable safety, but he's been able to pick out a lovely little combo there, Frankel. Oh, what the hell there happened? Now, how did he pot that ball? What? I missed that. I was too busy looking at the safe. He called the other ball as the combo, but the one went into the middle instead. That's obviously what's happened. Because that looked perfect. That looked perfect to me. So, anyway, I'll need to watch the match rerun. Now, a point away there for Semi-Pro, just playing the deliberate foul. not risking getting to a rail. Now Frankel, if he plays this cool, can give Semi-Pro the choice here of trying to get a ball to a rail. Now I think he could possibly with that 7 ball, but the problem is he's got to try and tuck the cue ball away and not leave a shot on, and so Semi-Pro is in trouble here, because if he doesn't get to a rail he's going to be in 2 fouls, and Frankel, if he's on his toes, can really put him in trouble. Well, you see, Semi-Pro has felt the pressure to try and go for another shot there, and that's forced the issue. That's how you can force the issue there. Semi-Pro felt he knew he was going to go to two fouls, and he didn't want to take the risk of getting that ball to a rail, so he went for the pot. He was forced into an extremely difficult pot, but the end result here will prove its worth if Frankel can actually take advantage of what's just happened there. And this is where you have to use the rules of the game to your advantage. And Frankel had Semi-Pro almost back to the wall there with that wee sequence of shots. And this has opened up a few opportunities here for Frankel. But as I say, there's been 2 instances there very recently there by Semi-Pro where he's taken on shots that, in all honesty, you shouldn't really be doing, you know. Okay, if you want to be a hero, then you go ahead and do it, but if you want to use common sense and play the percentage shot, then you play wisely. And I think he made a couple of wrong choices there. That's my opinion. Because in the end, those wrong choices might cost him dearly. The first one hasn't. Let's see what happens here, because Frankel is only, what, 3 points behind. Semi-Pro leading by 81 to 78. There's always different ways to turn the screw in any particular game. Straight pull and one pocket are probably games that, in safety situation, probably one pocket's even more severe. I mean, I've played a wee bit of one pocket, and my goodness me, if you play against somebody that knows what they're doing, they can stitch you right up. Straight pull maybe not quite as severely, but there are situations like there that's just happened where you can be tied up in knots and you can see no other option, but you have to keep your wits about you and just look at the lay of the table, look at where you could possibly try and leave the ball safe and try and work out a safety shot of some description. And well, Semi just didn't see anything that would be a valid safety, and so far it's cost him 9, and the break ball is sitting there, and that is ideal, but can he get good on it? Well, that's perfect. Now, can he pot the break ball, more importantly? Got to get this. And again, needs a bit of luck, and he's okay. 14 ball just came out nicely. Now you get the feeling, at least I do, that when we're coming up to the halfway mark in the final, that this could develop into an all too important visit for Frankel, and it might have a big bearing on the outcome of the match. if he can capitalise on it. There's still... Well, can he drop in behind that 10 and 9 on the left-hand side there to pick one of them away? Well, if he tried that, he's gone too far. He may well have played for the 3, but he could have dropped behind the 10 and the 9 there, because they're blocking each other for the corner pocket that side. So he could have just run through onto these two. But if he did play it, he's played it too hard, and I don't think the 3's ideal either. No, because he'd be running through and brushing off the 8. Well, he needs to brush through far enough here. Or he's just going to try and nudge it out of the way. Yep. Another chance to drop behind the 10 and the 9 here. Good angle on the 11, but he's playing a lot of inside right to try and get over towards the 6 by the look of it. Misses the 5. Perfect in the 4. Where's the break ball though? Well, this is always going to be an issue unless he deals with one of them. You know, this is being left here. And he's had a couple of chances to get in behind him to take one of them out. You have to get rid of one of these because it's a problem. And if you can get the chance to go over to this side, you should have maybe taken it when you had the chance. We'll see if it comes back to haunt him. Well, the 5 ball, if it goes next, that's a potential break ball gone. What about that 7? That 7's right on the point, but it's okay where it is. And of course, we've got the usual single ball down in the bottom half of the table that Frankel has paid no attention to so far. Well, now again, I think the angle in the 7, he can drop behind the 9 and the 10. It looks like he's got the angle just to roll through. Well, he looks as if he's digging down here. What's he doing? Oh no, a little stun. Right, so you get rid of the 10 or the 9, whatever one he prefers, but at least it now opens it up. Well, it's getting to the major point in this rack, looking for the break shot. Got to deal with the 2. Run goes to 22. And the lead goes to 15. So it's going to be the 8. A little kill shot, I would think, for the 13. And now, well, that 13's a wee bit away, so he's left the 10. And again, he's got the perfect angle. And well, he really needs to study this potting angle. Doesn't want to cock this one up. Now, how's the luck? Well, at least he's got a shot. 5 down the left rail. All you're hoping for is at least one shot to keep you going. And as long as you get one, you're fine. You deal with the rest of the problems after that. Well, if he takes the 8 and he plays the cue ball up the right hand side of the table, he should be on the 7, or at worst the 15 into the left middle or the one down the rail. Well, he's played it gentle. He's leaving the 6. But that shot's only left him the choice of one shot. The other way of doing it that I suggested gave him a choice of 3 shots. So he's just played for one single ball there. And he's tried to improve the situation. And I think, looking at that line of balls, there isn't a problem here. No problem whatsoever. All you do is finish one side and you're potting them. He doesn't need to do any more work to move them. He just needs to take them out. And I just sense now that Frankel's really focusing. Well, my money's on the guy that's at the table at this precise moment. If you'd asked me that 10 minutes earlier when Semi-Pro was at the table, I probably would have said the same thing. But as I say, right now the run has gone to 30. And Frankel's over the halfway mark now. He's nudged into those 2 balls and now he's made a mess of the situation. You see what I mean about not moving balls when you don't have to? Now he's made a right hash of this. He didn't have to run into any balls that side of the table. They were sitting 1, 1 and 1, and all you do is get behind them to pot them. And he's now locked 2 balls up, and he's locked up a third, if you want to include the 14. And that's the wrong shot there. He didn't want to have to do that. And that could cost him getting a run out here. He's going to have to do something. He's in no man's land. He's got no shot. So he's trying to hide the cue ball. That hasn't worked out. So it ends up in a run of 31, and I still think it could have been a lot more there if he'd taken them out right. We saw the line of balls. We saw that nothing needed to be moved. You didn't need to run into them. You didn't need to improve the situation. Everything was there. It's all about playing position. And he fell way short of keeping it safe. And it's another invitation. And now Semi-Pro's got the angle on the 3. He's going to break these balls up. I mean, that line of balls should really have had an exclusion zone around about them. Don't go anywhere near them. All you need to do is stay away from them on the right hand side, and you can pick one after the other and pick them off. But Frankel saw it a different way. It didn't work out, and worst of all, he couldn't keep it safe. And Semi-Pro is 21 points behind and has a chance to get back into this match. Now, while this is going on, I'm just going to nip out and put the heating off because I'm absolutely stewed. Well, I just get back in time there to see that Semi-Pro left himself 2 straight on that last ball, the break ball. So he's still got a lead, Frankel. But once again, Frankel's got a touch like an elephant. I mean, that is poor. Well, is that 5 ball past the pocket? Well, am I seeing something different here? Could that 5 ball not cut? That 5 ball could have cut any day as far as I'm concerned. Unless I saw it wrong. Well, what's Frankel got? Not a lot. But even if he tries to cut that 2 in, he's not got much of a pocket to work with. He's got half a pocket, and if he caught the thin edge of the 5, it would drop in. Now, even if he overcuts it and he hits the knuckle, it's still not going to go in. You know something? I've watched this whole tournament, right? And this is the first time I've realised there's a shot clock in this tournament. That's a good shot. Because that's Frankel now used his extension. And that's probably the only time I've actually heard the clock counting down the last 5 seconds in all of the matches that I've watched. Didn't even know there was a shot clock. So Frankel has a lead of 11. How lucky has he got here? Well, he's got the bailout shot. Well, a simple enough 3, and he's got a choice of the 7 or the 10. Well, this is another tricky one. He's got a slight angle on the 10, but it's too tight, so he needs to just roll that 7 in. Took the little nudge. Still relying on luck to finish in the ball though. He's on 1. He's on 2 as a matter of fact. Where's the break ball? Is it the 10 ball? Or is it the 1? 1 looks the ideal candidate. Getting to the nitty gritty end of the rack again. So it's going to be the 8. Presumably, well, it could be that it's difficult here to make a choice as to what's best ball to play first. Get rid of the 8, and he's come across. Well, it looks like it's going to be the 10. Now, can you get a little stunning draw up to about there? He's going too straight. Absolutely bone straight. So, take the point. Take the point and hide the cue ball. That 11's, is that squeezed out a wee bit? Because if it has, it would have been an easy safety for semi-pro just to punch the 11 out the table, but he's managed to freeze it onto the 12. Well, not quite. There's a wee gap. So now the right hand side of the table isn't the safety zone, because that 11, I mean, it's not a very great position for a pot anyway, the 11 ball, but it just limits the zone of safety. But whoever gets the 11, if there's nothing else open, there's going to be nothing else for them. Just going to be a point. If a wee look at this pack, well, the 3 and 8 aren't set. That 1 ball isn't going because the 9's in the way. So there's nothing there. Match has been going for just on the hour, or just short of it, by about a minute or so. Now we've got a couple more balls are freed up, so safety shot's got to be tight. And the whole right hand side of the table isn't safe. Where's that cue ball going? When semi-pro has squirted one out. And a pretty straight starter here for Frankel, but it looks as if it's going to be a roll through for the 13 down the rail, and then possibly the 6 as a break shot. If he can get good, if he can roll down, well, he's gone too much of an angle, but ideally if he could roll through there for the 6 into the middle, he would have had a break shot to help something out. He might go the other way if he can get across the table. Yeah, right into the point. Well, he's now left it for semi-pro. So Frankel just gets the 1 point. He goes to 120. Semi-Pro's brought a couple more balls into play, but there's also another break ball there. I think that 11 ball is a good shot. Looks fairly obvious. You pot the 8, get the 13, and if you can get the cue ball down to about there, that might be the plan here. The only thing is he's got the slight wrong angle. Ideally he would have wanted to be just running out a wee bit rather than going straight. He needs to keep going, and that's perfect. Well, that isn't a spectator, that's the player. If that's who you're talking about, Titan. Or did somebody ask something earlier on? Oh, it's snakes. Ah, right. I've scrolled up and I could see the chat. Yeah. Yeah, I've only got about 4 lines of text showing, and his had disappeared. So Semi-Pro, well, he's got to get moving now. He can't, I think I mentioned this before in a previous match. I can't remember who was playing, but we're not quite at the nitty gritty of the match yet, but very much in Semi-Pro's mind that he has to get this deficit down, and ideally he wants to be able to do that before he finishes his visit, but he's still got a wee way to go yet. I think, well, the 2 ball's going to disappear, so the favourite is the 4 ball. Once again, it's either from that side or from this side. That side goes into the pack there, and this side goes into the pack that way. And it looks as if he's doing neither. Well, it's going to have to be a good shot if he's going to try and use the 3 ball as a break shot. So how's his line? Oh, that little brush on the 4 has done him a huge favour, because that cue ball, had it not touched it, was going to weigh into the rail. And that'll do very nicely, thank you very much. And he gets a bonus ball in the break as well. The 14. Yeah, that will go. So likewise for Semi-Pro, just as Frankel, this is very important now that he capitalises on that break shot. Now I'll say this again, you get rid of the 12, there's nothing here needs to move. Not a single ball here needs to move. You don't want to be trying to do more work than you have to. These balls are ideal. I mean, they're no use because they're blocking each other for that pocket, but look at the area to get into to be able to pot those 3 balls. Well, it looks like the draw up the table for possibly the 2 or the 11, or a short draw for the 13. No, he's taking the 6, so it could be the 6 and 3. But if he takes the 3 ball and he's got the right angle, he can draw up for the right hand side of those 3 balls. That's perfect. That is ideal. Well, those two balls are dead in the pack anyway. 2 ball will be the break ball. And he's even got a slight angle to pinch on this 7. Or just kill it for the 8. Whatever he wants to do. Still got that one to deal with though. A 3 ball, and it may well be the 3 ball to leave him an angle to get on the 2. Now, he's too steep on the 8 though, so he's going to have to just drag in behind the 11 here. Just drag it that way. So that's the plan. Get good on the 3 so that you can get good on the 2. He wants to be playing this more or less square if he can, or maybe just on the inside of that 3 ball. Well, he's gone the other way, but either way you've got an angle, so he's got an angle to come that way. So anywhere out to about there would do. Where the donut is. Or even there at a push, but that's leaving it a bit narrow. But that'll do nice. Ideal position just to catch the corner 2 balls. And hopefully for his sake, leave the cue ball free and not locked up. So just 5 points behind. Cue ball is free and he has a shot. Run goes to 27. So this is developing into a good response here from semi-pro. But it'll be job done once he gets back on parity with Frankel. That's really the main objective of this visit. Get yourself right back in the game, get rid of that deficit, and if possible, start to build up a lead. So how many have we got on Twitch? About 2, and maybe 2 on YouTube. We've got 8 in the room, and well, 10 if you include the players. Living on YouTube. Oh, there's Andy. That's the first time you spoke all evening. You've been hiding in the corner, Andy. Oh, you're welcome. As I always say to people, when VP4 goes down the tube, and provided YouTube don't shut down and delete all my videos, at least the videos will be there. So we've got a right mixture on Twitch and YouTube. That's good. Well, semi-pro has broke down in 32 and the lead is only a point, so the objective was only partially done there. I'm only 39,776 short then, is that right? I'm only 39,700 and whatever it is short of 40,000 subs. You know, this is the thing, I watch these videos on YouTube and I watch these guys doing reviews and games and shit. And they spend half their time begging for people, please subscribe, please do. I mean, that sort of shit doesn't interest me. I mean, you know, click this to sub this, sub that, sub the next thing. This is not what it's about. This is bringing VP4 to the masses. All 12 of you. But thanks for watching, guys. Now, back to business here. We're getting to many critical stages that we had in matches, but we've got a critical stage here. Semi-pro, get into the lead by 1 point. Broke down in 32. And, well, it's not an ideal situation here for Frankel, but, well, the break ball's about to go, if it possibly was a break ball. So he's going to have to find alternate means here. And I don't think we've seen a break ball from the back of the pack. It's not that often you see break balls from the back of the pack, but there could possibly be one here. But that's... a break ball from the back of the pack is never ideal. It's always asking for trouble. It's like breaking into the reds in snooker from the back of the pack. If you've heard Willie Thorne, I mean, his commentator's eye always tells him when it's a flat back pack, the cue ball's not going to free, it's going to lock up against the pack. So let's see if that rings true, because that's exactly the situation we've got here with Frankel. He's got to hit a corner. If he hits the middle, see, he hit the corner balls here, and he's spun that way. But he's still got a shot, and it's worked out okay. Well, it's either that or you just have got nothing better to do on a Saturday night. Yeah, we'll listen to the mad Scottish bastard. He's bound to cock it up 3 or 4 times. He normally does. Let's go in there for a laugh. I usually do. Mind you, surprisingly, because I've been off all week, I'm actually not semi-conscious at the moment. I'm actually fully conscious, because at 10:15 at night, any working week, I am comatose at this time. Half my body has shut down. The thinking side definitely goes. Now, what's Frankel got here? Well, he's got a 5 ball. He's got loads to choose from, but he's got a wee problem here. But the wee problem can easily be dealt with right now on that 15 ball. A little nudge, doesn't need to smack anything, and that's problem dealt with. The other 2 issues are those balls there, because they're in the no-go zone. This is a no-go zone, this area here. You don't want to be working down here. So, Frankel on 1-3-4, 13-point lead. Was it a commercial in the States? Who is it that said, "Where's the beef"? It must have been a commercial in American television or something. But I've heard of this this statement, "Where's the beef?" Well, I've got a new one. I've got a new one for you. Where's the break ball? But I've heard that before. Where's the beef? I thought it was an old commercial or something like that. It was a commercial. Ah, right. I knew it was something like that. Well, this is my new phrase. I've coined a new phrase. Where's the break ball? That one there, or even that one. or even this one. So we've got 3 choices here. It's looking good. You see, I'm even annoyed watching this, because you know why I'm annoyed? Because that 13 ball is still sitting there bugging me. It's bugging me. It's been bugging me all the time it was sitting there next to that other ball. All the time I watch Frankel doing this visit here, the 13 ball just annoying me. I just want rid of it. See, the longer he leaves it, the less good opportunities it has of getting out on this break ball. It'll show you all the different commercials. I bet you it does. I knew I'd heard it somewhere. I couldn't remember where, but I remember people saying it at one time. Right, this looks good. Well, maybe he would like a wee bit more angle, just a tiny, maybe an inch, but he needs to get a good smack on this, and that's broken. Very nice. Well, we've got a couple of pairs here, and we've got another couple of blockers here, so at least he's on a ball. But there's a bit of work to do, a fair bit of work, as a matter of fact. Well, that's still ended up okay. He's still got a shot. Well, the 2 and the 4, they're a combo every day of the week. So if he's already looked at the 2 and the 4, if he gets an opportunity at some point and lands on them, he could easily take them out with a combo. Now, I don't know whether he's got enough angle in the 13 to nudge off the rail and up into the 4 and the 2 and then just hold for that 12. Hard to say. It depends how much he wants to put into this. Or is he taking the 12 now? Yeah. So he's got various choices, but there's the annoying ball again. 5 ball sitting down there doing nothing. So he could just drop in behind the 2 and probably, well, is he taking the 11? He's a wee bit more angle in the 2 than he probably liked there. Better angle in the 13 for nudging, just brushing into the 2. Worst thing that would happen is he would still have a shot on the 7 or the 1. Little brush, no, he's missed it. But he's still got the 7 and the 1. But he can play the combo if he wants, even though it's a bit of a cut from that angle. So the break ball looks like the 14. And now the little combo. So the run has gone to 31, and Frankel is now 48 balls away. The lead goes to 31. And now he's surely got to take out this 5 ball after the 12. Get right down here at the bottom. Leave that 1 ball into one of the middles. Could possibly be the left middle pocket, depending how far up he goes. With the angle he has in the 5, he could come back towards himself and play the 1 into the right middle. So it's whatever he's happy with. Looks as if he's going up the right hand side with a wee bit of help in English here. I'm not behind him, I'm just looking at the screen. So yes, and he's overcut the 5. Well, could that be a crucial miss? And you know why he missed it? He was playing it with the inside English to get the right hand side of the 1. and he's just tweaked the 5-ball offline, and as soon as it hits the knuckle, it's hanging up. So the run ends in 34. Now, how crucial a miss is that 5-ball going to be? Well, that's gone wrong, because he didn't play that. He wanted to miss the 14. And that's even tougher. More or less on the rail. Needs a lot of power in the 14 ball. And needs a bit of luck. Well, he's got a bonus ball, but I don't think he's got a lot else. He's got nothing much on here other than a risky combo or a cut 8 into the middle pocket. And there isn't a lot of opportunities for hiding the cue ball here. There is if you just play a dead weight roll and take a point deficit, a point deduction, and just roll into those 2 balls there, or up in there. Well, he's played the combo. Another risky shot, but he's still got another shot. So this time again, Semi-Pro is chasing. And it's the same old story as the previous one. It's deja vu. He's going to have to try and get back on par. And if possible, try and get that lead. Combo in the 15. And, well, there's not going to be a lot available here if he plays that. So he's played the 5 instead and trying to get to the 15, and he's got there. Now, is it the aggressive shot and try and get into the bunch here? Well, bailout ball, and he can go over for the 7 or leave it for the, I don't think he can hold for the 13. I think he's got to play for the 7 and doesn't want to be dead straight. Has he landed on the 10? Is that the 10 or the 12? That's the 12. Well, that was like a snooker shot there, playing into just a little zone to give himself a choice. He had a choice of the 7 or the 12. And now everything's open. So, just in case there's anybody out there who's accidentally stumbled across this stream, not that there's that many of you, but if there's anybody who's watching and wondering, this is Virtual Pool 4, online PC billiard simulation, and this is the Virtual World Pool, or Virtual, I'll say that again because I got it wrong the first time round, I've got it wrong again. This is the VP4 World Straight Pool Championship Final, race to 200 between Frankel and Semi-Pro, 2 players that faced each other in last year's 8-ball bar table World Championship Final, and Semi-Pro was trailing in that match for a fair bit of it and got himself back into it eventually and managed to snatch the win. And right now he's in the middle of trying to do the same thing in this final. So although we're into 2019, this is still the 2018 tournament, because we started back in goodness knows when. Was it November? It seems as far back as that. And we've now finally got to the final. Double elimination tournament. It was raced to 150 in the winner's side and a race to 100 in the loser's side. And Frankel had to work his way through on the loser side, because I think Semi-Pro put him across to the loser side. And that was a good shot. Got 2 or 3 balls free. The run goes to 17. But there's still a deficit of mental arithmetic 16, is it? No, 14. No, I can't count. My brain is beginning to go. I give up. Well, there's still about 10 in it. That's a rough figure. Good chance of breaking balls here. Oh, he couldn't catch enough of them, but he's still on one. Right, what have we got? Well, he'd want to get ideal on that 14 ball. He's taking it now. This is as good a chance as any just to help the situation. Well, he might even take this little combo now. That might be too inviting to ignore. That little 13 and 8. It's always there, especially if he ends up getting rid of the 10 ball back here. But they're dead set. I mean, they'll go in. Even I could pot that combo. The big question is, are we looking at the match winning contribution here from Semi-Pro? Slight problem to deal with. Well, he could deal with one of them now and get rid of the 2 into this middle. It's as good a time as any to get rid of that. He's behind it, but he's going to take the 10 instead. Right. 2 ball could possibly end up in a break ball, but the 5 ball's about to disappear. And now we've got a little bit of a clutter here. The balls are fine as long as you get on the right side of them, either there or there. So 4's going to go, and it looks like the 2 ball is the choice, possibly the 13 if it comes to it. But he's got 2 choices there. He can get rid of the 7 or get rid of the 15. Oh dear, there's the first yawn of the night. It's usually at 9 o'clock or so. That start about 8:30, sorry, not 10:30. So the match has been on for 90 minutes. So, what one has he chosen? 13 ball. No, that's the 11. From a distance, it looks like the 13 to me. So the 11 and around the corner and out for the 2. Or what way is he going to go about it? Because I think he's dead straight in the 7. Well, it's definitely going to be the 11 ball now. He might have come back a bit further than he wanted there, I don't know. But at least he's still got the choice. And that's just about right. I would always like to just be a wee bit further right. He's certainly going to be moving balls. The run goes to 30. And he's only 3 behind. And he's got 3 balls well, he's got the break ball, a couple of bonus balls, and the table is wide open. And this has come at the right time for semi-pro. And this also came about from that miss in the bottom right hand corner as we look by Frankel. But we've got a bit of a mess here with the 8 ball in the left rail. And this 15 ball over the corner, 13 ball on the right side. They're all in the bottom end of the table. No good to anybody. Well, this is a wee bit awkward. Get the cue ball out into the middle of the table. Right. A wee bit of thinking to do here. You could take this little titchy one down the rail here, but that's a bit more than you want to be doing. And now he's gone short in the 2, and that just means the cue ball's running into balls when you don't really want it. So taking the 5, and possibly now would be a good time as any to drop onto the 13. No, it seems content to deal with these, but of course now the decision must have been made because we've got the 1 ball left here as a break shot. Take the 6 and the 13. Little soft draw back, give you a choice of 2 balls, and if you overcook it, you've at least got the 2. Or take one of them now, so it just depends on how you see it. You've got a big area to move that cue ball back into, so you've at least got a choice of one of the 3 balls that's sitting there. The thing is, he also might have in mind that he's going to use the 13 as the easier ball to get better position in the 1. So that means that we're going to have to get rid of this 7 in such a way that it's good to get on the 13. It's like a chain link thing. You've just got to get them in line. Well, he's now gone too far for comfort if he was playing for the 7. He's gone way too high on it. The run goes to 42, the highest run of the match. And what a contribution this is maybe going to end up being. That remains to be seen. I think he's finished dead straight in the 13. Well, he's a bit straight on this one. He's going to have to stun this hard, and the question is whether he's going to get much movement in the pack. He's missed a 1, and that's all came about from that shallow angle that he had. And the run ends on 44. Is that 44? I can't even read it this time of night. But the lead has gone to 11, but that, well, we don't know the outcome, but that could have so been a possible match winning clearance or run out. But it's a chance to let Frankel back into it again. And that's possibly the 3rd highest run in the tournament, because I think it only was 71 and 51. I don't remember many other ones. Maybe there was like maybe a 30 odd or nearly a 40 by Acero. I don't know what Baker Maker did, but I don't think there's been much else. Well, that's the problem with straight pool is you know, it looks so simple. All you do is pot a ball, but there's always very important shots during the sequence, and it's a sequence of balls leading up to the break ball that's the most important part of the rack, because it's how good you get yourself on that break ball that will determine whether you're going to get into the pack good enough. And then, of course, the other thing about straight pool is you need that luck to get on a ball. Whenever you play that break shot, it doesn't matter who you are, Francisco Bustamante, whatever you call him, the other one, the magician, Efren Reyes, it doesn't, you can keep naming them, but those guys, they can get a break ball because there's certain positions to get a break shot in, and they can string runs of 150 together in the pro game. And this Virtual Pool 4, provided you can get good, it will lend itself to giving you a high break, but you need so much luck, doesn't it, when you break those balls. You could be on a run, you could have had 3 or 4 racks and be on a run of 60 odd, but your next rack, as soon as you break the balls, you could be locked up and have no shot whatsoever. Well, the run is in its early stages. It's on a run of 6. Oh dear, what a miss. What a miss by Frankel. Now, what was he trying to do with the cue ball there? Oh, that might be fatal. It may well be fatal, that mistake. I mean, he must have been trying to tweak the cue ball a bit there to pinch something, and he's took his eye right off it. I wish I was behind the shot to see what he was trying to do there, because he's still trailing. He's on 160, and Semi-Pro back at the table. Well, I think Semi-Pro thinks he's won a watch here. He thinks his Christmas has come early, because I don't think he was expecting to be back at the table so soon. That could be serious damage for Frankel. I wish I had the camera up at the top end there to look at what he was doing with that cue ball. There's no way he would miss that without having to try and squeeze something out of the cue ball. Well, this is an open invitation here for Semi-Pro. If he can get that break shot off the 9, he's on to 171. This match could be all over in the next 2 racks. Now, what's the angle he's got in the 2? Well, he can just get across a wee bit. Let's have a look. He doesn't want to go too far. He doesn't want to do the same thing. Oh, this is he done a wee bit more angle again. He's just going to catch the corner possibly, unless he gets a lot of juice into it. Aye, he's just caught the corner. Has he got lucky? No, it's all gone pear-shaped, has it? Can he see enough of that 8? Yes, he can. Well, he's going to have to maybe tweak the 8 in with English as well to try and nudge something, because I don't see anything else on. He's going to have to help it. Well, there's nothing else on here. Let's have a look at that. No, the 6 ball's blocking out any possibility of any combo. That 5's going to the jaw. So it's a safety. Well, Frankel, Your prayers have been answered, my friend, because from that balls up, you've got off lightly. It's just a run of 10, or whatever it says on there. I'm seeing double at this time of night. And Frankel lives again. He's trailing by 15 points, but, and this is a big but, who's going to make the next mistake? Well, I think both sphincters will be tightening up in both players. It's getting to that time of the match. You just dread moving a ball and leaving something on. And dreading touching a pack, because you could even just create something. Well, now Semi-Pro has got no shot on the right hand side of the table, and he's got to hide the cue ball in the pack, and he's managed to do that. So this here, this is a problem. Look at that 2-ball. You can't play safe this side, and if you go long, you're inviting Semi-Pro to have a go at the 2, and there's not a lot of places to hide. There's a little hiding zone in there, either behind that pack of balls, behind those 2, which he's played, and that's a good shot, but the safety zone is there, nowhere else, anywhere up here. Now is he calling the bank? No, the stream will be back in a sec. I just hit a wrong button there. Well, be a brave man to look at that. He's calling the kick bank, is he? Off this side rail. Well, I have to say, if he gets this plumb, that's going in. Oh, he's caught the 15. Has he got away with it? You know, he could just squeeze through. So it's another mistake by Frankel. He could have played the safety. He could have played the safety. He chose to play the... Mind you, I have to say, when you look at it, the bank was on. And there's a mistake by Semi-Pro. Well, it's happening both ends here, guys. Well, the shot was on. As I say, if you're in a run of 40 odd, it's well worth taking. It's a risky shot to take. The kick bank was on as long as it didn't hit that 15. As soon as it glanced to 15, it was dead. And now Semi-Pro's missed his chance, so this match is up in the air. Oh dear. And another one from Frankel. Well, the misses are coming left, right and centre. And the nerves are really showing. Oh dear, what the hell is that? Listen guys, let's shut down and restart our computers, because I'm sure my computer's broken. Every time these guys hit a ball, they're missing the pockets. Am I out of sync? There's something weird going on here. I must be watching the wrong player playing, because they can't put a ball in a hole anymore. I think the referee needs to come in and get all these balls into a bucket of soapy water, give them a good clean and a good dry, and then we'll restart and race to 20. Goodness me, I've never seen so many misses in a sequence as I've just seen just now. And Frankel, I'll tell you, I don't know what he's got. He must have the rosary beads, the prayer shawl. He must be facing east and praying to Allah, because all his prayers are getting answered here. Every time he's missing, Semi-Pro's doing him a favour and saying, well, here you go, have another go. Well, Something has got to give here. Something's got to give. Frankel trailing by 11. And it's another Christmas come early if he can get these two balls down the bottom of the table here. And I think both of them have taken their eye off the ball, to use one of the well-used phrases. I think both of them have got a squint eye. Whenever they go to the table and look at a ball, one eye's looking at the referee. Well, it's now down to the business end of the match, really. We've got Frankel with a pretty good break ball, but he needs to get good shape on it. How's this looking? Well, it's a break ball. Anything but the scratch. Just one ball is all he needs out. And he's drawn off the pack. He's got a shot in the 5. But I'll tell you what though, unless he does something with this cue ball, he's not going to have a heck of a lot more. It'll be risky to try and just kill it right dead here for the 8. He could easily block himself off here. This is not ideal, this lay of balls here. Especially when he's only got one ball on. Well, he's went into the couple of balls to hold him up here, but again, he's not much to go on. He's only got the one. One ball's the only one that's on. And this is a tester. You don't want to put any English on that cue ball when you're moving the cue stick about and aiming over that 13. What's he looking for here? This 3 ball. And it's gone in. It's a good shot. A testy one. And now he's just 1 point behind. The run goes to 14. 25 points away from redemption. And revenge, if you want to add that to the tension. I feel an almighty sneeze coming on. I think it's gone away. Right, let's get down and have a look at what we've got here. Well, we've got a problem here. This one isn't a problem. You get rid of the 1. You get that frees up the 9, and it in turn frees up the 12. But the other way to do it is to nudge into them off this 10 if he can. But he's going the other way. He's going to nudge into something here. And he's missed the nudge, but he's got the 1. But this is where the cue ball is running a wee bit here. Now, ideally, he wants to find a gap and miss things here. But he's drawn into the 9. To try and maybe hold for the 8. Now, has that gone wrong? It's very, very, very tight. I think he's got nothing there. I think it's a risky shot to try anything there. Just bail out in the 6 and take the 15 or the 2. But the 2's the break ball. Now, what angle's he got? Well, he's got an angle now. He'd be unlucky to be on nothing if he runs through and just nudges on to to the 10 or the 12, whatever ball that is, the 12. He could even miss it and just take the 9 and nudge into it. And that's what he's going to do this time. A little brush onto the 12. Or he could end up in the rail for the 12 if he wants, for the 7, sorry, the bloody 8 ball. He can pinch a little bit and just draw off it, but he doesn't want to risk blocking himself. This is the danger with your choice of shot here. Never guaranteed. So now he's running away from the 8. He's going to have to just baby this in. Trying to hold the cue ball from running away, but now he's got a perfect angle. Now anywhere around the angles and up here, or up that way, whatever he wants to do, whatever way he wants to get there, he needs to go further. He's got lots of spin on it. Lots of helping spin. Well, a little bit of dig and he can catch the corner of the pack. He's missed the break ball again. Oh dear. Well, that might be his last one that will come back to haunt him. And the run ends in 24. And Frankel was only 15 away. And the match has swung back towards semi-pro. Now what can he do with what he might think is his last chance to steal this? And a bonus ball there as well. So just 6 behind. Well, I'm going to stick my neck out here. Looking at the lay of these balls and the way they're sitting, I'm going to stick my neck out and say this match is over. Just 19 away. There's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10 left in the table. So if he gets a good break off that 14 ball, if that's going to be the break shot, if it stays that way, I think it's done and dusted. Yeah, it all hinges. That'll decide the match, how that final break shot goes. Well, I said, I've been saying as soon as these two matched up again, I mean, I could never pick the winner. You can only go by how they played during the tournament. And Frankel's biggest problem to keeping a run going is these break shots. He's missed far too many of them at important times. And that one there, as I say, may well be his last. It'll be a big surprise if this match turns again at this stage of the game. $14 ball is still there, so it looks like, unless something goes pear-shaped here, that looks like the break ball. Now, what's he got? And how does he get on this 9? Does he just roll through it? Because when he rolls through, he has to get the good angle in the 9. He's got a slight angle in the 10 to try and punch it in and draw across for the 9. So he has choices as to what he does here. So he's running through to come the top side of the 9. He doesn't want to be in the rail. You see, that's the worst possible position to finish when you're trying to get on that break ball. I mean, that is just no good to him at all. He needs to get lucky here. Well, this is going to test his nerves, because that is no way to play a break ball from. You don't want to be playing it for there. And Frankel will be praying it goes wrong. He's on 190. He's 10 away. And in goes the break ball. And Semi-Pro gets 9 times out of 10. And he's on the 11. And there's enough balls in the open to seal the deal. Although that's gone a wee bit ugly. He's still okay though. Can he see the 10? I presume he can. Yes, he can. Yeah, this is over, folks. Well, we'll have a look at the final bracket, and we'll have a look at the placings once the match is done, and we'll see who gets what. So just 6 away. Just not quite enough angle on the 9 here. He's going to have to do a wee bit more with the cue ball with this 9, unless he leaves something long. So he's going to leave, well, either the 5 down the rail or a long 6. But that's fine, because again, he doesn't need to do anything with them. They're just sitting there for the taking. 97, or 197 I should say. $98, $99, and across for the 15. Now, where can it go wrong from here? Anywhere on that side of the table, he's going to have a shot. If he falls short, he can take the 12. If he goes to the rail, he can take the 15. Game over. Well, I can't believe that. I mean, I cannot believe that. Somebody tell me why the hell he did that. Did he try to get lucky there and just land on one? I mean, 199, and all you do is get the cue ball up there somewhere to leave a cut in the 15. Or if it went wrong, you finish that side and cut down the 12. Well, this is unbelievable, this. He's calling the bank. No, he's calling the safety. Well, Frankel, I don't think he's got much choice here. I think he's going to have to go all out. I mean, you're 1 away from defeat. You've got a possible bank in the 1. It has to be made. I think it's all or nothing. All or nothing. You didn't think you were going to get back to the table. You might as well have a go for it. There's no many places to hide. Because if you don't get it and there's a possible shot in the 1, sure as shit, Semi-Pro's going for it. So he's just played the foul. And what does Semi-Pro do now? Because if he does the same thing, he's got Frankel over a barrel. He needs to use the head here. He needs to be wise. He should be playing the same shot and just locking onto the 8. This is what I'm saying. You have to keep your wits about. You don't get yourself fooled into doing something daft at the wrong time. Well, he's going for it. Well, this is make or break. This is for the match. He's calling the bank into the top right corner pocket. Well, he should be playing the push to the 8 here, I'm telling you. He's missed it. Well, what do you do now, guys? He should have played the deliberate foul against the 8 and put the pressure on Frankel that way. Well, I can't believe this is happening. I cannot believe what I'm watching here, guys. Because that deliberate foul by Frankel was asking for the same in reply from Semi-Pro to put the onus on Frankel to do something. And Semi-Pro turned it down, went for the bank. And what it means is Semi-Pro is 1 away from victory. And Frankel is 14 away. This match is on a total knife edge. And the break ball is there. Now, this is Frankel's nemesis if he gets to the break shot. Can he get one right? Well, he should have used the deliberate foul. That's the tactics of the game. When you have nothing on, you have to, and your opponent's already in 1 foul, and he's gone dead straight. That's a disaster. That's the worst possible outcome again for Frankel. He's going to have to thump this in and get lucky. And he's got nothing. Well, it's 18. It's actually 15. You've got 3 fouls and then the extra 15 points for the 3 fouls. We discussed that a couple of weeks ago, I think. About what it was, because I've got a video with him. What's his name? Mike Sigel, talking about the rules of straight pull. And the rules in VP4 are the same. It tells you it's, 3 fouls plus the 15 points. It's 18. Which is a weird way of saying it, but that's the way they say it. Anyway, I'm taking my eye off the ball here. Frankel is 10 away. Semi-Pro is crying out for a shot of any description to put a ball in a hole to win the match. Is that 8 ball a combo? No, it's nowhere near it. I'm getting excited. Well, what's he doing? What the hell's he doing here? I think he's just calling that to play a safe. That's all he's doing. When he could have just called a safe. He's no left a possible combo, has he? Oh, that'd be a brave man to make. That combo would have to be made, but you'd be smacking balls all over the place. The 8 ball would be running into the pack. You'd be trying to cut the 15 in for the match. Or do you keep it tight? I think you keep your wits about you and you keep it tight. I still don't think Frankel can believe. I think he'd packed his cue case up, took his bow tie off, finished off his drink, and was heading for the car. That's what I think. I think they had to shout him back to the table. He couldn't believe he was going to get another shot. Well, another safety here. I don't know why these guys are calling a ball in a pocket when they're actually, all they need to do is hit the safety option and then just play a shot. Can't call a safety though. How can you not call a safety? It's controlling left square bracket. Controlling left side bracket or left square bracket next to your letter P. That's how you call a safety in the game. In VP4 that is. Anyway, I need to keep a focus on what's happening here because I'm going to miss something. Oh, he's just nudged the 11 there. That looked. Yes, Yes. It just saves you calling a missed call. Now this is where, when these guys have been playing for 2 hours, they have got to get these connections thin, because it's so easy to brush a ball and just nudge one out, especially when they're so close. Yeah, the safety's not like a push out in 9 ball. Right, he's called the ball in pocket, but it's just a safety again. See, they're getting me excited by doing this, because I'm looking for possible combos that I've missed. And once again, with the line of balls, you've got to, if you're running to the side, you've got to watch you don't nudge something at the top of the pack out. But the best option, if you can get the chance, is to get down into the long grass, down here, and leave that cue ball on the bottom rail, because that's your best chance of, well, the scratch is fine. That's actually probably the best safety, believe it or not. Because Frankel's playing from the kitchen line. It's not ball in hand anywhere in the table and straight pull. And now, if Semi-Pro wants to risk it, he can just feather off the 1 and get down into the bottom end of the table, but he's not risking it. Likewise for Frankel, a little feather in the 13. Even if you don't get to the rail down here, at least you've got distance between the cue ball and the pack. Then it makes it more difficult for your opponent to get the safety right. See, that shot there off the 1. The 1's just sticking out. You can catch the edge, you'll not do a lot of damage, and you just get the cue ball right down the table. There's not one of them looking for distance here, and this is... oh, that could have went wrong there. But another chance. I mean, I would have already have played the shot. I'd have been down here in the corner hiding. Yeah, you've got to get, especially with the pack and trying to get things thin, you need to get that cue ball away from the pack. And not one of them's thinking about it. They're not prepared to make a move and try and force the situation. There, another chance. 13 sticking out. Little feather in the 13, a wee bit of right spin, and get yourself down there out the way. Oh, that 9 ball's never going. The 4 ball's blocking it. Yeah, 7 balls against the 4. It's not going to go. Well, he's missed the pack. Again, it doesn't matter. But what it does matter is he's now 3 points away from victory. And that has a big bearing on this match now. Frankel's got that wee bit of breathing space. But somebody's got to be brave enough. This isn't the shot you would do it in. You've just got to hide back on the end rail. But if you get here and you can get an edge of that 13 or the edge of that 1, get yourself away. Now that's an even better chance. And a better one, very thin off the 1. Even if you miss it, it doesn't matter. You just get yourself away. None of them are risking it at all. I can't understand it. You think about it, if you're playing that cue ball from that end rail and you're trying to catch the edge of a ball 7.5 feet away, it's a lot more bloody difficult to get it as thin as you want to get it and prevent nudging a ball out. I need to get a drink. Now, what we happened here? What's happened here? Well, once again, perfect opportunity. Skim off that 9 ball, left hand English, and run away down here. And even off there with right hand English, helping English, it will send it down here, off the edge of the 11. A very thin feather on the 11. Very thin, and a wee bit of right hand side. Oh, that's... Yeah. The 9 ball hasn't changed. There's nothing going on there. Now the way this is going, they've worked their way up to 190 and 197. We could end up back at 50 by the time this safety exchange is finished. We could be here all night. Well, how many opportunities have these guys had? I mean, they've tried the close-up safety here and nothing's happening. So what you have to do is you have to try and change the approach. Another opportunity, very thin feather off the 1 and get yourself down the table. None of them's doing it. You have to try something different. Well, he's missed the 1, but that's fine because it's only a point. And now you've got that bit more distance. Now let's see if that changes things. Well, the 1's now tucked back in, but I still feel that's the way to go about it. Just, if you get the chance, get yourself away. And all the time, you keep looking at that pack and see if anything is being set. And I can't see anything set there at all. Well, this is a possible scratch in the corner, but again, it won't matter as long as he hasn't got 2 fouls against him. And perfect invitation to run away again if he wants to take it. Oh no, this I mean, how can this be boring when the 2 guys are pretty much neck and neck? One guy had the match won, and you've got another one fighting for his life. Now that's what I'm talking about. There's nothing worse than hitting half a cue ball top side and trying to skim off the pack of balls and not leave anything. So semi-pro, well, thought about heading down south again. And now we're back to square one. It would be a brave man to try and pick anything out of that lot. There's nothing doing. But sooner or later, something's got to give. Don't send me PMs when I'm in a bloody stream at this time in the game, Romario. What a numpty. Jesus Christ. I'm sitting here shitting myself watching this and he fucking PMs me. Did he do that for a laugh, did he? Somebody give him a kick if they see him. Well, now we've got a hexagon of balls. Look at the shape of them. Well, apart from the fact that little nudge there, but it was like a hexagon. We're going into all shapes. We went from a triangle. And now we're going for a square. We've almost got the line at the back. We need to square this bit up here. Need to flatten that bit there. Listen, don't bug me for God's sake. I'm not answering anybody while I'm watching this bloody situation. Jesus Christ. If somebody's got a second, somebody PM Mario and tell him to fuck off. Excuse my French. Is that a serious statement there, Potman? You're kidding me on. For Christ's sake. I'm in bits here watching this. Right. Oh, I was getting excited there. Now, what about that 5 ball? Right, the only problem with that is... the only problem with that is that there wasn't a clean path with the combo to get to it. Right. Well, that's what I'm getting excited about. I'm waiting on somebody, you know, just playing a thin safety and setting something up. This is why I'm skimming round the pack and trying to pick something out. You know, just a recap on the score here, guys, in case we've all forgotten. Frankel's gone back the way to 189. Semi-pro's now 4 away. He's on 196. And now Frankel's playing from distance again. Now that 1 isn't going anywhere because it's locked against the 10. It looks nice, but it's not a combo. That 10 ball's in the way, that's deflecting it away. And the 15 is out. We've got a loose ball. And that'll probably be tucked away in a second or two. Well, that now changes the safety zone. There is no safety down the bottom end of the table as we normally look. Well, I think this match is now on one mistake. One mistake could cost it now. Especially bearing in mind there's a risky 9 ball on. The 9 ball cuts to that corner pocket. Be a brave man to have a go at it. Let's go into the draw. Well, Semi-Pro took the risk, and more importantly, if Frankel can pot this 9, get good on either the 3 or the 15, he's got his chance to win the match. Well, he's in neither. He's in neither as a good chance to break something out here, but his last options to play the 15, the 3 and get on to the 8. He's 10 away from stealing this match, or from the jaws of defeat. And he's got the angle in the 3. And he needs the luck this time, just once more. and he skimmed off the edge and got nothing. He's absolutely nothing. Not anything. Can he cut the 4? No, he can't. The 4 ain't going anywhere, folks. He's got to hide. You've got to run and hide. There's nothing there worth the risk. And he's got to be careful off this 4 ball, because if he doesn't hide behind here, he's going to leave a shot in the 7 or the 13. He's got to get this right. And he's played the 13. And he's got it hidden. There's nothing on. Or is there? Look at that 7 ball. Well, there's a brave shot. When you're sitting in 196 and you know that if you play the combo and it goes in, you're going to break the balls open and possibly win the match and win the tournament. And on the other hand, you're probably handing it to your opponent in the plate. I need another drink. Now, what's he done here? That one is very inviting. That is tight, but it goes. Well, what's Frankel thinking? The 1 goes, unless I'm looking at it at the wrong angle. Right. That 1 goes. He has to play it soft and just brush off something. Or try and get a safety. And he's played the safety. Now, you couldn't make the bank in that 1 because the angle isn't right. And you've not enough room to actually try and make the bank, so forget that idea. There's a... that coming off the rail isn't going for a bank either. The 7 is now loose, but it's still safe. But that one ball does pass. At some point, somebody might finish sort of here. And unless that 1 moves, somebody might have to take the risk at some point. But I think to be honest with you, the 2 of them are scared to make a move in that direction. The way things have turned out. Well, I said last night to Frankel, I thought I would say the match would have been about 2 hours, but with these safety exchanges, we're now rapidly approaching 2.5 hours. Well, the 1 ball has now been changed, so it's now safe. That 14 ball, excuse me, looks as if it's going to the jaw, the way it's angled. But look at the 7. Well, that's going to move in a second or two. Remember, keep looking at that score up in the top, folks, in case there's the odd foul. It's 196 to semi-pro, 192 to Frankel, and semi-pro was in 199 and only had to play the sensible shot into the open to win the match with an easy winning ball, and he locked himself up. And semi-pros picked out the 1. And now can he get that 2? No, he can't. The 2 isn't going. He's looking at the 14, but I think it's going to the jaw. He's on 197. It might go in off the jaw. The further back you look at it, the better it looks, but the closer you look, it's going to that knuckle. But here, this is for the match, really. Has he called it yet? No, he hasn't. He's still looking at it, but I think it's going to the jaw. It's going that way, and as soon as you hit the point... Oh, the 12 balls blocked it off. That 14 was going. The 14 was going. Well, this is unbelievable. And I think he's got it safe, has he? Surely. Surely he's not got it safe. Well, my God. What did he call there? Did I miss that? I'm getting so engrossed. What the hell happened here? Was that Frankel that was going for the 14? Because I'm seeing semi-pro at the table here. I'm so focused on the balls, I'm not even looking at who's playing now. I've totally lost their place. Well. Anyway. Oh, he didn't call. Oh, anyway, it's all over, folks. Well, what a strange end to a match. Unbelievable. Semi-pros won this match twice. How can you play in a final to 200 and win the match twice, basically? And so, well, I'm totally stumped for words, to be honest. To be honest with you. Somehow semi-pros managed to end up winning this, and Frankel has stumbled and tripped his way, and in the end, in all the confusion, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Let's have a look at the bracket. Well, we'll see that the match is still to update there. But we'll see that semi-pro, and that's two major finals, if you want to call them that, in a row, that semi-pro has defeated Frankel, and semi-pro wins 2,345 V-dollars, which you can spend on nothing. And the runner-up, Frankel, gets 1,125, and third place, if I can get the bloody bracket thing to work. I hate this. This is the worst design I've ever seen for a bracket, and I've told them that 100 times. Third place gets 700, fourth gets 385, fifth gets 430, and sixth place, or seventh, whatever it is, gets 315. So that's the tournament over. The strangest way for a match to finish. Incredible misses that started coming into it. And both of them stumbling and faffing about until eventually something happened at the end of the match that I missed. I was too busy focusing on the pack, trying to pick out combos, and I entirely missed the whole situation. I'm going to have to re-watch this at the end of Twitch and see what the hell happened. Because Twitch will be up and running right now once I finish the stream. But that was just an incredible finish. Well, guys, until next time, thanks for your company. Thanks for joining us. And we will see you again sometime, whenever the next one might be. I'll tell you what one it won't be. It won't be the snooker one, because that's a pile of shit. Race to 5. I'm not doing that. But I've already hinted that the next one should be the US 9-ball, because it's over a year or more since it was last played. I think it was a year ago in November when it was last played. So that's, I don't know what the next one is they've got planned. It'll be something stupid probably. We'll see what it is. So until then, thanks a lot for your company, guys. Thanks for watching if you're still watching, and I will see you again next time.